Have you ever told everyone about a big dream you wanted to achieve, and then noticed somehow it never happened? Sometimes when we speak too much about our dreams, they start to feel farther away instead of closer. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a young man named Elias. Elias had big dreams. Every week he started something new. One week, he wanted to open a small shop. The next, he wanted to learn pottery. Then, he imagined building a little garden for the village. But Elias had a habit. Before he started anything, he told everyone in the village about it. "I will make the best shop in the village." People clapped. They smiled. They said kind words. Elias felt proud. He felt important. That night, he slept well. But the next morning, when it was time to work, he felt tired. The energy he had yesterday was gone. Days passed. The shop never opened. Then he thought about pottery. He gathered people in the village square. "I will make the most beautiful pots. Everyone will buy them." People praised him. They encouraged him. Elias felt wonderful. But after a few days, he lost interest again. He never touched the clay. This pattern continued for years. Elias announced every dream. People celebrated his words, but his hands stayed empty. His life did not change. He felt ashamed. He couldn't understand why he always failed. Deep inside, his heart felt heavy. He felt stuck. One evening, Elias sat alone near the old well. His grandfather, a quiet and humble man, approached him. People respected him, but he rarely spoke. He sat beside Elias and asked gently, "My son, why do you look so troubled?" "Grandfather," sighed Elias, "I have so many dreams, but I never finish anything. I don't know what's wrong with me." The grandfather nodded slowly. "Tell me, what do you do when a new idea comes to your mind?" "I tell everyone," Elias answered quickly. "I want them to know what I'm going to do. I want them to feel proud of me." The grandfather smiled softly. "Come with me tomorrow morning. I want to show you something." The next day, Elias met his grandfather in a small garden. The grandfather held 2 seeds in his hand. He gave one seed to Elias. "Plant this," he said. Elias dug a small hole and placed the seed inside. He covered it gently with soil. Then the grandfather held the second seed, but he did not plant it. He simply placed it on a rock and walked away quietly. Days passed. The grandfather watered the seed and the soil every morning. He said nothing. Elias watched. Slowly, a tiny green shoot appeared. Week after week, it grew. The grandfather said nothing. He just cared quietly. Meanwhile, the seed on the rock stayed the same. It dried under the sun. Birds took pieces of it. It never grew. After several weeks, Elias saw the small plant standing strong in the soil. The other seed was gone. His grandfather spoke gently. "Elias, a seed needs silence to grow. It needs darkness. It needs to stay hidden under the earth. If you leave it in the open and talk about it, it dries up. It gets stolen. It never becomes a tree." Elias stared at the small plant. Something shifted inside him. "When you share your dreams too early," his grandfather continued, "you feel proud. You feel as if you already did the work. People's praise gives you pleasure. Your mind thinks the goal is already achieved, so your heart loses the fire to keep going. The energy you need for action gets wasted in words." Elias felt his face grow warm. He had been doing exactly this. Every time he announced a plan, he felt successful, but he never actually worked. The praise was enough. The applause was enough. He never needed to finish because he already felt finished. His grandfather placed a hand on Elias's shoulder. Dreams are fragile at the beginning. They need protection. Keep them quiet. Let them grow in the dark soil of your effort. When the tree is strong, everyone will see it. You don't need to announce it. Elias thanked his grandfather. He walked home slowly, his mind full of thoughts. That night, he made a decision. He would try something new, but this time he would tell no one. He chose one simple goal, to make a small garden in the backyard. He did not announce it. He did not gather people. He just started. Every evening after his daily work, he went quietly to the backyard. Some days he felt excited. Other days he felt tired. But because no one knew, no one asked questions, no one expected anything, he had no pressure. He only had his hands in the earth. Days turned to weeks. Flowers began to bloom. He learned which plants needed more care. Slowly, the garden became strong, colorful, and full of life. When it was finished, Elias stepped back and felt something he had never felt before. Real pride. Not the pride from words, the pride from doing. One morning, a neighbor walked by and said, "Elias, this garden is beautiful. When did you make this?" Elias smiled quietly. "I've been working on it." The neighbor was surprised. "You never told anyone?" "I wanted to finish it first." Word spread slowly. People saw the garden. They were impressed. But by then, Elias had already started another small project, quietly. Years passed. Elias became known in the village as a skilled gardener and maker of beautiful things. But he never announced his plans. He only showed his work when it was done. People respected him even more because his actions spoke louder than his words. Elias's life changed completely. He no longer needed praise before starting. He no longer felt the rush of empty pride. He found something deeper, the quiet satisfaction of building something real. Now think about your own life. How many times have you announced a goal and then lost the energy to pursue it? How many dreams have you shared too early, only to watch them fade? When you speak about your plans, you give away the power. You let others' reactions replace your own effort. Keep your dreams close. Protect them. Let your work speak when it is ready. The world does not need to know what you are building. It only needs to see what you have built. Next time you feel the urge to tell everyone about your big idea, pause. Stay quiet. Let the seed grow in darkness. When the tree is strong, everyone will see it without you saying a word. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more emotional and inspiring stories that stay with you. And don't forget to like and comment your thoughts. Your story matters too.